Hi lovelies, and welcome to a little Astro-Update. So many of you asked me to create a little video for you to support you on your very own journey, and here it is. So this week we have three major events of Mercury starting to be retrograde after the Sun entering Cancer, and a solar eclipse being created in Cancer together with Summer Solstice. So wow, big events, and we already have big events around, right? So to give you a little quick overview, we have now 5 planets being retrograde of Pluto, of Saturn, of Jupiter, of Venus, and now of Mercury as well. And with having so many planets being retrograde, it's not about wandering forward, it's not about wandering outwards, but it's about wandering inwards and to do all of the inner work before starting to wander forwards again. So we still are in a phase of reflecting, of reworking, of resetting everything in our inner soul, of the past, of the present, to then create the future. And we somehow are also kind of forced to wander inwards because of the lockdown we are currently in, right? So very precious times for healing as well. We also already are in eclipse season, and eclipses always bring like big changes of destiny, big transformational periods of times, and normally eclipses are very strenuous, not only for our soul but also for our physical body. But for our spiritual body, it's a very like a magical time to even have more faith and trust in the universe, because now it's not on you to create your future, but on the universe. So we can manifest during eclipses, and it's not the easiest thing for many, because we love to create our own life, right? But right now the universe just knows it better than we do, and we are allowed to trust. So things may not work out the way that we manifested them, but just know that the universe knows it better right now, and that this change brings you closer to where you shall be. So we are still also in eclipse season. And now let me start with Mercury. Okay, so Mercury is the planet of communication, of our mindset, of the way how we think, how we are, where we are interested in, and all of the mind-orientated stuff. And when Mercury is retrograde, all of this kind of pauses. So this is why this is a period of time where communicating isn't that easy. There are many misunderstandings. We have to be very clear about what we communicate to whom and how we are doing it. So it's not the best time to sign contracts or to make big decisions, because we may have wrong information or not all of the information, for example. So it's not the best time to make any big decisions, also not to make any big investments, for example. And we have to be very careful with all of our technical devices, as they are also connected to Mercury. So get yourself a lot of crystals and put them to your laptop and to your mobile phone so that everything is safe. And now we also have Mercury being retrograde in Cancer. And this is something very beautiful, because Cancer is the most emotional and also intuitive sign. It's very sensitive, and it's not mind-orientated but heart-orientated. And this is how our communication is right now, or also what we are allowed to learn from this retrograde. To not think that much. I mean, we were in Gemini season where we thought about many things, right? So it's now time to use your heart more than your mind, and to communicate very intuitively of what feels right, and it's a beautiful time to have lots of deep talks with your besties, and to connect yourself with your soul desire and to get already into the energy of what very own individual transformation you may experience, because also the solar eclipse will be created in Cancer, because on June 20th the sun is entering Cancer. So the main energy will become more emotional, more intuitive, more sensitive, more careful, and yeah, like the topics of family will be like more intense, of our roots, of our home, the home we are living in. So it's a great time to create a very cozy home, to cook very lovely dinners, and to connect with your best friends, where you can be your truest self, where you can have those deep talks, you know. And Cancer also love like candles and hot chocolate and a very beautiful goddess bath, you know, like with essential oils, with flowers and good music. So everything that is nurturing your soul is very, very welcome in Cancer season. And the following day, June 21st, the new moon will be created in Cancer as well. And this new moon is not only a new moon, but a solar eclipse. And especially solar eclipses are very intense, and I deeply think that this is one of the most intense eclipses in this year. And it will be an annual eclipse, what means that the moon is directly in front of the sun, but it's still a little bit like closer than the sun, and therefore a ring of fire is created. So very beautiful, and you know, like we are celebrating the day of darkness, because new moon is always like the darkest day of the month, and we have a solar eclipse being created by the universe, where it's about shadow, about darkness, and the transformation that is being created out of it. And this universal event is happening at the feast of light, Summer Solstice. What is like so beautiful. I mean, this message is so beautiful because everything is so different in 2020, right? So we are celebrating the feast of light, while the universe is creating the darkest day. I mean 2020. And for me this means, you know, like it's summer solstice, we celebrate fire, we celebrate life, we celebrate like light, all of the good things in life, to be alive. And before we are allowed to celebrate this light, to become this light, we still have to do all of the shadow work, to connect ourselves with what topics we still are so massively allowed to learn, because this solar eclipse is only like 1 degree away from the lunar node being in Gemini. And you know, like it's nearly a conjunction still, and this means that this topic is very, very present, and the topic is like what is true and what is not. Where am I allowed to unlearn in order to learn? You know, and I really think that this is so beautiful, because we will go through this shift of unlearning to learn within the following 18 months. And we are also allowed to implement it here at this solar eclipse. So we are still allowed to focus on the darkness, on what we are allowed to leave behind. And with this I mean our old belief system, our blueprint that is still limiting us from becoming our purest essence, because this is like the south node being in Sagittarius of what we're allowed to leave behind. And so we are allowed to still rework our blueprint of what is limiting us, because we have like the wrong thoughts or the wrong information in our mind, because we learned that we have to be this way, that we have to do this thing, you know, like all of this stuff. Ask yourself, with every topic you rework, what is true and what is not. and trust your intuition, because she's never wrong. She really knows what's best for you and who you truly are. So rework the darkness to become the light. And I would start by creating a ritual of no manifestation. Very important. No manifestation, but still going through my blueprint again, and go through the topic of Cancer as well, of when it comes to your family, what are you allowed to still rework, to your roots, to your home, to your best friends as well, and what do you want to implement to feed your soul, to nurture yourself, to do something good for yourself, to connect with all of your soul desires of who you truly are as well. And it's not about manifestation, but about reworking. So I would write down a list of things that you want to let go. I know we normally do this at full moon, but I really think we have to burn every dark phases of our life at this summer solstice to create the burning fire of transformation, of light. So write down a list of things you want to let go, that are limiting you and all of the stuff. And also write a list of what you want to implement into your life still, it's not about manifesting it, but still also to reflect on what you want to implement. And I would really connect with feminine energy, because Cancer is such a feminine energy, it's female nature, And I deeply believe that the feminine power and energy, the feminine healing power is coming back right now. So implement all of the beautiful female energy work, still a lot with rose quartz as well. Not the crystal of love. Let me see, also work with selenite if you want to release things, to clear everything away, to cleanse yourself, if you want to receive clarity. I really don't think that it's that much about clarity right now. Work with clear quartz. I really think this is the first ritual where I don't work with my beautiful citrine, but it's really more about just becoming aware, to unlearn, to learn, to grow, and to become the light that you already are, your purest essence. And this is also, it's already too long nearly, but this solar eclipse is also created with a conjunction with the goddess planet Vesta, what I think is very, very beautiful, because Vesta is the goddess of East. And she's the one that doesn't serve anyone but herself. And this is so much the energy that we are currently in. It's not about focusing on others right now, and this is not selfish or anything, but we have to start at our own to make a collective change. So start at your own, what can you do in order to leave behind the old, unlayer yourself, rework everything, to become your truest essence, to become the transformation. And if we do this collectively, we create the great change, not only in our own surrounding, but also in society, and therefore for our mother planet Earth. So with this said, this is the energy of the universe and how I read it. And I would say create a big fire, create a beautiful ritual, dance with your witches around the fire, and celebrate darkness to celebrate light. I love you deeply, and I wish you a beautiful summer solstice, a beautiful solar eclipse. And if you have any questions, just comment below. Love you.